Hello guys, this is Reza and welcome to our Python tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to talk about operators in Python programming language. But what are the operators? We've got four main types of operators. The first type of operators in Python is the math operators. But what are mathematical or math operators? We have got a variable called num1 and imagine it is 10. Then we have got num2 with the value 5. Then we have got the result variable which is going to contain the result of some mathematical operations. For example, num1 plus 8. This plus here is a mathematical operator. We could do num1 plus num2 or whatever. There can be a constant value or there can be a variable here. The other mathematical operator is minus. num1 minus num2. We can have multiplication sign, num1 multiplied by num2. We can have the division. We can have the ceiling value of division, which is, for example, if this was 3, 10 divided by 3 is 3.3333 and so on. But if we use this sign, 10 divided by 3 just returns you a 3. And then we have got the remaining of a division. We talked about them in detail in the tutorial related to numbers. You can find detailed information about mathematical operators in that tutorial. The other type of operators are assignment operators. But what are assignment operators? The first and most important one is this sign equal. How do we use it? As you remember, for example, you have got a variable called age, and then you want to assign a value to that variable. For example, 48. So you assign this number into this variable using the assignment operator. But assignment operators are not only equal, there are more. You can do something like age plus equal 5. And what does it do? This line is exactly the same as writing age equals to age plus 5. It adds 5 to age and again puts it in the age variable. So if at first age is 48, by executing this line of code, age gets 53. Because it adds 5 to 48 and then puts it again inside age, like here. Adds 5 to the age, puts it again inside, assigns it again to variable age. The same way, we could have minus equal, which decreases 5 from age and then puts inside age. Then we can have multiplication, we could have division, we could have remaining, we could have all mathematical operations together with assignment. And it is a short form of writing something like age equals to age remaining, for example, here 5. And these are called assignment operators. The other type of operator is called comparison operators. We talked about comparison operators in the if statements, in the conditional statements. What are comparison operators? They are equals when you want to check if two variables or two values are equal, not equal, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. And as you remember, if you wanted to use them, for example, you could use them in if statements. For example, you could write if name is John, then do something. And then you remember you could write else, do something else. And you remember the scope of if is all the indented statements that come after this column. Of course, the scope of else the same. The last type of operators that we are going to talk about today is the logical operators. Logical operators are and, or, and not. We have got 3 logical operators. But how do we use these logical operators? For this, we will go in details with an example. In this example, we'll try to use all the operators we talked about in this tutorial. Imagine that you have an application, and in your application, first of all, you ask the user to insert some information. For example, you want to know the name of the user, then you have to ask him, please insert your name. Then another information which is important for your application is user's age. You will do the same. You will ask the user, how old are you? And then you'll wait for the user to insert his age. And you are sure that the output of this function is always a string and age is a number. And it is usually an integer number, so we will convert it to an integer number like this. Now in the application, we want to see if user's name is John, you are not going to allow the user to enter your application. So we'll write if name equals to John. You will say, for example, you are not allowed to enter. I don't know why, maybe you have got problems with a John. So if the user is John, you don't let him enter your website. But imagine that you have got another condition for the users to enter your application. So if they are not John, else, you want to put another condition. If, and instead of writing else if, you can write elif. This is a keyword in Python that you can use it. What does it mean? It means if this one is not true, then we want to check another condition. So else if, and now you want to have another condition. You want to see if the user's name is Alex and he is less than 18, again, he cannot enter your website. But you want to print, for example, something else. You say, sorry, you have to wait until you get 18. Like this. So in our program, we have used a comparison operator with equals, and we checked if user's name is John, he cannot enter. So if the user's name is not John for sure, we want to check another condition. If the user's name is Alex and he is less than 18, we are not going to allow him in. This and means that both of these conditions should be satisfied if we want to enter the block after this column. So if either of these is not correct, we don't enter here. So if the user's name is, for example, Mary, for sure it doesn't enter here, even if he is less than 18. Or if the user's name is Alex, but he is 25, again, we never execute this line of code. And if the user's name was Mary and he was 25, for sure, we'll never execute this code. So if we have got and, it means that both of these conditions should be satisfied if we want to enter. So far, if the user's name is John, for sure we will write this for the user and then we will exit the application. If the user's name is not John, we will check another condition. If his name is Alex and he is less than 18, we will print this information to the user. We want to check the last condition, and for sure you know that you have to get out of the scope of this elif. So we'll go to the start of the line, elif. We want to check if user's name is not Jack or he is greater than or equal to 85, we will print you are not suitable for our application, whatever. So what are we checking here? We say if the user's name is not Jack, he will enter here. So we like only Jacks. If it is not Jack, we will enter here. But we will put another condition. If he is not Jack, maybe he is over 85. If he is also over 85, he will enter here. So we will check two conditions. If either of these or both of them are true, we will enter here. So if the user's name is, for example, Jonathan, this is okay, and then we will enter here. It even doesn't read this one. If the user's name is Jack, so this one is not satisfied, it will look here. And user is 55 years old, this one is not satisfied, so we will never enter here. Either of these should be satisfied. And then finally we want to say else, you will say, for example, welcome. So it is very difficult to enter your website. Let's run the program to see how this and or these conditions and these assignments work. Please insert your name. The first case, imagine that my name is John. It asks how old are you? No matter, for example, 67. We are sure that it says you are not allowed to enter because my name is John. So if it is John, you are not allowed to enter, and then the program finishes. It doesn't enter any of these anymore. Let's run again and check with another condition. What is your name? We will check Alex. How old are you? 17. So this line of code is not satisfied, so we will never enter the block here. This line of code is only satisfied if both of these sides are correct. The name is Alex, so this one is correct. Then age is less than 18. This one is also correct, so we are waiting for this line to appear. Let's see. Yes, sorry, you have to wait until you get 18. Let's run it again, and this time let's check with Tom. The name is Tom and he is 23. Let's see what happens. The name is not John, so never here. The name is not Alex, and because we have got and, we'll never read this part anymore because both of them should be correct. When the first one is not correct, it doesn't read here. It comes here. The name is Tom. The name is not Jack. So for sure we will enter here. We doesn't look even at the age because for or either of these is enough. Name is not Jack, so he is not allowed. You are not suitable for our application. Let's run again the application, and this time let's name him Jack and imagine that he is 70 years old. Let's see. His name is Jack, so this is not satisfied. This one is not also satisfied. Let's come here. The name is not Jack, so this is not satisfied, but we have to also wait for here. If this one is satisfied, we will enter again. Age is greater than or equal to 85. Is it? No. So none of these are true. So this condition also is not satisfied. We will not enter here and we will end up here, welcome. So I am Jack and I am less than 85. I can enter. We could change this line by writing not and then in the parentheses name equal to Jack. It is the same as writing name not equals to Jack. Not is the reverse. So we are sure that with Jack and 70 we will never enter here. Let's check again. With Jack and 70 we'll say again welcome. So we will never enter here because the name is Jack So the not of this one is false, this is true, the not of this one is false, or this one is also false because it is less than 85. So false or false is always false. Just try to remember true and true is true. True and false is always false. Even if this false was here, the side is not important. So false and true is always false. And lastly, false and false is always false. So the only way that AND gets true is that both sides of AND should be true. On the other hand, I will just copy everything and try to show you what exists for OR. True or true is always true. True or false is also true. False or true is also true. So if either side is true, it is true. False or false is always false because there is no true to get back. You have to remember these in order to use logical operators. And logical operators always return true or false. I hope this course has been helpful for you. If you've got any questions, please write in the comments. I will answer you as soon as possible. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel to encourage us to create more videos. Have fun and don't forget to practice.